defeat the Demon Kings of Karmine Corp as we get into game number 2.
On the desk, Sierra and I, we talked about playoff implications and teams that are in contention for the 6th place spot. Well, technically, GamersOrigin are one of those teams. They're definitely in a tough spot. If they want to be that 6th place team, if they want to play like a playoffs team, it's going to have to start today. Oh man, we're already seeing 1-1-3 and the rest of K-Corp with this early pressure start to come through here. Again, we talked about it. First 10 minutes here for K-Corp. So active, so clean coming through, and that's the thing GamersOrigin are going to have some trouble with. Viego, take some time to get online. GP certainly needs levels and itemization before you can truly have an impact.
He has futures market.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Wow, look how about that. So Vizichachi knows that he needs
pretty
to
good.
get online more faster than usual if he's trying to go up against Galveston. I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna make it easier for him to get that first Sheen buy, which is a really big deal for GP. And it is nice at the very least, because even though GamersOrigin need time to get online,
For sure.
having GP on your team with the new TP changes means you can have that global impact without actually having to teleport to your team's fight. You do have that cannon barrage. It's going to be able to assist or maybe defend plays that Karmine are going to make.
And as of right now, the word of the day, I want to say between these two teams, especially for Karmine and for Geo, is going to be proactivity. And not just any kind of proactivity, it is just really precarious proactivity for Geo, especially if they are to go against this very, very early focused Karmine team. As heavy training goes on, it's about making sure that they're not able to revitalize on their composition and making sure that they cannot execute the win con of just their team identity, of making sure that the team they're up against simply loses by 15 minutes. And once they play from ahead, then Karmine is sure to be unstoppable, which is why they also have that 6-game lead. Yeah, potentially looking to make it 7 as 1-3 goes against Cream KT.
And already, he knows Kareem is here. He can immediately go for this. He should win that 1v1. Oh, yeah, Kareem.
Yeah, Viego early on is not super strong, and
Hello.
there's the yellow card, but the flash force, that's a good flash for Flash, and he manages to smite away the big wolf as well. So, playing not necessarily there, but forcing the summons from Viego is not a bad start.
No, I mean, because you have that constant range advantage against Ronaldo, Seiken is okay blowing that flash in the early levels of the game, and now 1-1-3 again, he's back on this top side of the map. You can already see how Graves is going to get this early push, and because of the damage coming through...
Immediate stun lands the barrel, Cabochard goes in, one more auto, but
oh, wait,
tanks
outplay?
2 tower shots might be unfortunate. This might not work out, actually. As Wheelos to crash in, Cabochard needs to wait for... Does come back up. He's playing behind the tower. They go back
does he live? No.
One more. Yeah, he does not. He took too many tower shots, but unfortunate, but still beautifully executed nonetheless.
I think Vizichachi played that one really well, though. Knows he's trying to stay on the tower opposite from Cabochard just because, you know, Graves autos don't go through towers. So he has to try and keep himself alive in that scenario. 1 for 1, most you could have hoped for, even though he does lose out in a bit of gold because of the CS. It's okay.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Graves, right? You cannot have the same sort of pressure that you do as Irelia to create the same sort of dive pressure, which is why I'm thinking about it. I think Cabo needs to bring out the Fiora. I think Cabo needs to show us that he can put more people in the bin off of just Irelia and just go for the ultimate flip push monster. But that's just my opinion, because I think it will make a very exciting gameplay. Nonetheless, as we head back onto the map, though, Reckless and Huntera have been just pressuring this bot lane. As Cream KT is here, the flash is forced out from Reckless as he's Engine Wave is dead. Takes too much poke and they win like a 3v2. Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Kareem wasn't actually able to be part of the picture, and the fact that they went in a little too soon on the side of Engine Wave did end up costing him his life. But I like this. More pressure topside, playing for Cabochard. We talk about how they can play for Reckless, but they also do the opposite. They can play for their top laner, can play towards the side of the map, and put top laners like Vizichachi in the dirt. Although they don't get the opportunity now, because Cabochard is on the end of some unfortunate trades, they're still, I like that they keep looking for these plays, and this is what we expect from Karmine Corp. 1-1-3, constantly back and forth between farming, making plays, and you can see it. The fact is, he's actually a little ahead in farm, despite the fact that Kareem hasn't done much on the map by comparison.
Yeah, it is actually quite impressive considering how well he's managed to keep up, right? And 1-1-3, he's just playing really well around his timers and killing super fast as well, which Volibear doesn't do a good job of, but just shows his mastery on this champion. As all of Karmine move towards the bot side of the dragon, Smiley is there by himself as Engine Wave have moved up. to put down some wards, but they'll get forced out of their own jungle. 113 will just fight against Karmine KT for his Raptors. He doesn't want this smoke, man. He's up against Ronaldo. It's a 2v2 as Ronaldo might be in good going too deep. And Dwiv is here, and they overstep. Unfortunate from Karmine.
Yeah, definitely a little too aggressive there from Karmine Corp. You can see it, Ronaldo managing to get that kill is going to be pretty important just because of the fact that, I mean, the only one in terms of dive and all-in that you have to worry about this time around for this Akali is going to be Huntera on the Nautilus. And then Nautilus primarily is going to be looking for the engage, not as much about the peel. So once these fights breaks out, Ronaldo with the lead can do a lot of work in this particular game here. But of course, we know K-Corp to continuously be that active team in these early minutes. So even though things are not always going the way they want to, you know they're going to continue looking for these opportunities, and then a lot of them more often than not do work.
But I find Geo so far have been doing a good job of at least responding to it, right? Especially on the side of Edgewave, who's to pressure this bots as much as he can, although he does overstep a little bit previously. This time he was thinking really well with Karmine KT. But this might be the potential catch for Ronaldo. He doesn't have flash up, right? But still an Akali, still very mobile. Not going to be able to catch him as he simply just goes towards his own chickens. And will continue farming up as we get back to a bit more velocity between these two teams. But Karmine KT gets heading box.
And you can see it, 113. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yep, taken. There we go. The 6 goes up. That's the gold card. And Vizichachi should be able to run away. Ooh, the collateral damage not going to be enough. Wow, shout out to Vizichachi.
Yeah, but again, you can see it, just how much pressure they're putting on this top laner. Now he has to recall. He's actually going to wait for this wave that Cabochard is pushing to come through and then try to collect it, because he knows that Seiken has to go for the recall. He's already losing waves in the mid turret. But the other thing too is that because of this attention on this top side of the map, look at Reckless. He has to back away from the turret. It's losing out on gold XP, losing out on plates as well. Now that his jungler's here though, now they can go in.
Yeah, they do catch Edgewave. He's under tower, hasn't taken a tower shot though, but yet again a bit too far forward, and that's just free pickings for Reckless.
Man, that's actually a really awkward spot too, because where 113 is now, Kareem was there. But because of the way they went in, he's not able to join from behind like that. He'd have to pass through the turret, and he wouldn't end up being as effective. So it's a really nice play from KC, even though they probably didn't even know that this Viego was even there. But it still ends up being positive. It still ends up getting them the dragon. Yeah. And if they want to, they could potentially make a play for the Herald if they reset immediately and go for the move.
Pretty well done by KC here, at least trying to capitalize on the bot side, right? We were looking at as to how Geo might potentially respond to a lot of this top side focus, and at least they've managed to stray neutral objectives, but Kareem instead might look to punish Cabochard instead of both the bot side is here.
Oh yeah.
Cabochard knows he's way too far forward and will not be able to get anything out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he just tried to clear as much of the wave as he could. He's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm just going to clear up whatever gold and XP I can. Yeah. And just get sent back to the base there. But I like it. The rotation is good. You want to make a play for the Herald because you have control over the top side of this map if you're GamersOrigin, especially with that pick. It means more plates are going through to Smiley. He's been part of, what is that, 1, 2 plates now, and he still has a lot of alone time with this top turret too, getting all this extra gold. So this is a good spot to be in if you're GamersOrigin realistically. We talk about how active KC are earlier into the game and how they always manage to generate leads. Well, we're almost 10 minutes in, and they're actually behind by a couple of hundred gold. And I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think about what GamersOrigin have here in terms of scaling, late game damage potential, this is a good thing for the Geo squad.
That's the one thing we actually didn't get a touch on much either when we look at the draft, right? Just the scale on both these sides. I find Geo does inch them out just a little bit because Volibear will start to fall off eventually if he doesn't get enough damage, and he becomes just a big meaty boy right at the front line. And Seiken, right, although he exerts the pressure, but across from sidelines, the 5v5s won't be super great either, considering there is cleanse on Smiley, and Vizichachi has vitamin C, which is good enough for the cleanse, right? So yeah, that gold card will eventually fall off as well. So if I'm looking at it, Geo going later into the game, if they can keep this up, if they continue to stop KC, then suddenly you might see a repeat of what happened a couple of weeks ago. And Geo, who've been down on their luck a little bit in terms of standings, especially rise back.
Hello.
There we go. There's 2 more people there. Huntera's locked down. Edgewave is knocked up, and there's a dive from 113. Can't catch anybody though, as Reckless looks to go in a little bit late for Seiken, but That'll simply just them exerting the dominance.
Right, and you know, Ronaldo actually managed to get that move first, so it's just to make sure that he's not able to have that influence. They can go in. Oh, wait, they want to go in?
Yeah, and so does Ronaldo. There's no ultimate up here. He's looking at 3. He wants to assassinate Seiken. Look at that. And they're going forward. How about that? Flash for a stop from Montera. 1-1-3 is likely dead. The Q not landing. He's fine. Woo, fancy feet.
Wow, but still a really big play coming through from Ronaldo. Being able to find that opening and actually going for it while getting away with his life is a big deal. The fact is you get a 1-0 in this situation here, and you push this lead a little bit for GamersOrigin. Excuse me. Seiken is going to be able to TP back, but we already talked about it. Kills for this Akali. That's big. You'd love to see that, and even better, because the fact that 1-1-3 has to back and is not able to be on that part of the map, you have an easy play to push Reckless off this turret and allow Smiley to be part of more turret plates going down, and the first turret of the game. So this Jinx is juiced out of her mind right now.
Oh, absolutely. And as the first item comes in right over Reckless, Q Smiley has to be feeling so good about himself on this Jinx. This is a phenomenal start from Geo, who actually were displaying looks like this against LDLC as well. The same sort of proactive gameplay. Smiley might be dead. Yeah, he's locked down. He has no mana. Unless maybe, potentially.
Oh, the flash?
Oh
my god, you're joking! You're joking!
Yo! That was sick! He gets back in time! Endwave, you mad lad!
So what happens sometimes when you're playing something like the Volibear, you feel that pressure where it's like, okay, we're behind. I'm running out of time when it comes to being useful and being able to have that same impact you have in the earlier parts of the game. So 1-1-3 chases a little too deep, and instead of securing the Jinx, Smiley gets his second kill of this game. His soup is continuing to be accelerated on this Jinx, and you can see it. It's getting so much harder for K-Corp to play this game, and we can see it even in their game last week with K-Corp. They managed to, actually we're going to hold that.
As Endwave actually, if he actually caught that Zoom played on Seiken, he's more than likely dead, but has to pop the TP and flash to get in the lane and just eventually have to run away as well. Karmine, we haven't seen them play from behind in a very long time, so now I think comes the true test of resilience and resistance, right? We were talking about precarious proactivity, and now with this, if they can choose to not overforce, if 1-3 can choose to stay alive, and they find small opportunities back into the game, this will really be where they show that they're a top team. But if this is a game where they're not ahead from early and they simply just lose, then I think our worst fears about Karmine are definitely still there.
Could be a play. 1-1-3 is here. So I don't think they're going to be able to do very much, especially with Huntera on this part of the map. And K-Corp, like you said, playing from behind. We don't see it happen very often. We saw it last week, but even still, they managed to eke out a win at the end. It's going to be harder for them this time around at this pace here, because GamersOrigin now, they find themselves up 2,000 gold, and you can see it. Very hard to punish the likes of this Akali, to punish Ronaldo. He played it when GamersOrigin got their first win, and he is trying to get them their 5th.
He most definitely wants to. We're seeing how GamersOrigin has been
big solar flare.
Such a disgusting solar flare. And as they now go in, Seiken might be a bit late to the party. Antera is going to stay alive for a couple of seconds. Smiley not able to land. The final rocket was just a 1-for-1.
And still, you take those ones. GamersOrigin, I like this. They're continuing to be aggressive, especially trying to punish the fact that K-Corp are looking for something. They know it's going to be more about picks. It is not about the 5v5. And this time around, it's GamersOrigin who find the pick for themselves here. You see them. Beautiful solar flare leads into a pretty easy kill. But because of where 1-1-3 ended up falling, Kareem ends up taking tower shots just by virtue of the fact that he was close by. Still, though, a kill for Viego versus a kill for TF. I think I'm pretty happy with my Viego getting the 1-for-1 in this situation. So it's still not a big deal. You're seeing the key mythic items come through for GamersOrigin. They're actually in a really strong spot at the moment here. And I was talking about it. The 5v5 is how they want to play this one out. And you can have Vizichachi on the split if you want. K-Corp, on the other hand, they're playing more for picks. You have this TF, you have Seiken, who's going to be trying to catch people out in the side lane. Maybe if you can pick someone up with the dredge line as Huntera to take someone down, that will also be valuable. But GamersOrigin are on a really strong lead at the moment, and it's going to allow them to pick up the second Rift Herald. Even though they're going to trade the second Dragon for it, it isn't a big deal. You can use this to break open that mid-tier 1 turret since you've already taken the bot.
And it's a Hextech Soul too, so now that it gives them even more of an opportunity to find potential flanks with these, with the portals, and also go for more than 5v5s, which you see Engewave do previously and use to absolute to a T. And KC, they can definitely split up Cabochard, send him either bot lane or top lane to set up the side waves, especially with a hull breaker. But we've seen how when that happens, potentially, he does go a bit too far forward, gets caught out and dies from there as well, and then Karmine gives up power points across the entire map, and considering they're not ahead this time, they definitely can't afford to do that. Because if it's a Chachi, he offers much more of a global pressure, so you can't continue to just match Cabochard on the side lane. That's it right now. Cannon Barrage is not up. They're under tower. That's disabled. 1-3 might die. Turret goes back in a couple of seconds. The tower just might be there. Okay, and he stays alive. 1-3 barely managing to live.
Mr. Chachi buys so much time because they have the Rift Herald and you have the threat of Ronaldo. It's going to be easy for Smiley to clear this wave. It's going to be easy for camps to be stolen and the Rift Herald to be dropped up. And you can see it, 1-1-3 finally finishes the Turbo Chem Tank, but he's in his base. He can't do anything about what's happening now. Seiken, it could look.
Yeah, he has a gold card, the immediate solar flare, the depth charge that lands onto 2. That's a big knock of Engewave is definitely the ignite.
Oh, Cabo's here.
And now Ronaldo goes into Cabo, like you said, as the blue buff, no CC and no chain. He can't burst anybody at all.
Still, you managed to get one, which is nice. You managed to take down Engewave in this play. It does cost you your turret, but it is going to give you some. It's going to alleviate some of the pressure GamersOrigin have been exerting so far. But now you can see Ronaldo. It's mostly full health. He's looking.
Wants to try to find it. There's a slow, and that'll say Reckless at least. So he's fine. He walks away, like you said. Reckless had no mana there either, but has to burn the flash just to make sure that he's A-okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's A-okay now, but for the next 5 minutes, he may very well not be, because now Big Summoner not available. You don't have Huntera playing the Thresh, so it's harder to get saved with that Dark Passage. It's hard to get peeled for by this Nautilus, whose primary objective is to just full send it and go in. That's what this one is all about here. And you can see it, K-Corp haven't been able to find anything so far. We're 2:30 till the next Drake, and now GamersOrigin, because they've gotten both Herald, can set their sights on this bottom side of the map. And what that means is now they can start to stack dragons. We know the Hextech dragons individually are the strongest ones, and we know that Soul is so powerful. So if GamersOrigin managed to actually secure that Soul, that'll be a great way for them to secure a win.
GamersOrigin looking to make the playoffs run. We've been talking about how every single game at this point counts from now. And with them being 4-8, this win could definitely set them over at top and potentially actually cost Karmine their eventual playoff run. But one loss might not be what does them in, but will definitely give a chance for Geo to move up in the standings, especially considering they're up against, besides Mirage and Sen as well, and Oplan right below them. This would be a massive power boost to them as well, because we've seen them be so close in these very, very big fights, but perhaps a bit of overstaying and being a bit overzealous has what cost them. But as of right now, they're playing very carefully and really well.
They're going to have to continue to do so. You can see him take control over this bottom side of the map. 1:30 till the Dragon. They still have control over this mid priority here, and because of the TP, Ronaldo, very happy to just keep this top lane pushed in. Means it's going to take time for Seiken to actually join a skirmish or a fight that comes through. I think if you're K-Corp, you just let go of this Dragon, you try to hang back, try to farm, catch up and make a play if you can. But when it comes to actual Dragon stacking, the fact that you got the first two means you do get a little bit of space to breathe. And I think that's going to be what benefits them the most here, as we see Seiken recalling. Could potentially go for the TP play. Oh, he's actually getting pressure top lane.
I was going to say, yeah, he looks to move down. It takes a little bit of damage, but he's just fine. He'll be able to heal that up. But Seiken looks to walk away as well. I was looking a lot at what Karmine decides to do as to where do they just to move up. And yeah, they definitely don't want to lose bot tier 2, because that means the Dragon priority immediately is given over to Geo for the next 2 Dragons. They want to create a pick. It was the flash out from Huntera, which is actually really solid. Cooldown. Seiken now moves in. The Chomper's not going to land on him either. As KC want to fight over this Dragon, they want to get Soul Point.
It would be really beneficial for them here. You already get the flash out of Seiken. You use that Destiny, so the ability to make a play isn't really there anymore, with the fact that Ronaldo didn't even have to do anything. He was there pushing this top wave. You're bleeding gold and XP. K-Corp are risking a lot for the potential secure of this Drake. They're gonna have to try and burst it. Huntera is looking for something.
He finds the hook onto Smiley. That's
Oh,
really
big
big. That
knockup.
charge as well. A lot of CC, but look at the back wave. Eventually he was dead. He was there by himself. But Akeem KT goes in. There's the reset onto one.
There it
and I
is.
can go in on some more. Smiley not excited, but Cream goes in. There we go. Nia's running back as one of them run away as well. This is so bad for Karmine as they cannot get the dragon. They lose two. They have to give the possibility to sole point.
They're not going to be able to get it. 1-1-3. Just going to slink over to his Wolves camp and just back it up. And there it is. GamersOrigin. What looked like a terrible situation for them was turned around partially by Ronaldo, who TP'd in, and that damage coming through from Vizicachi. You could see it. I thought it was doomed. Huntera got a beautiful hook. Somehow Nautilus dredge lines, you know, that's just how it be. It somehow skipped the Leona and ended up pulling Smiley. And you can see what a good job they did in locking him down. The problem is Wave did a fantastic job keeping them back with the CC, with the solar flare, making it so that this fight was actually very uncoordinated for KC. All the CC Huntera got didn't even matter. So in doing so, 1-1-3 and the rest of K-Corp don't get to secure that dragon. They don't get the soul point, and now they find themselves in an even more dangerous situation.
It's getting very, very tough right now if you're looking at the side of K-Corp. Because suddenly, they now have to try to play for picks, right? I find they have to create some sort of advantage for themselves on the back of Sacred 1-1-3, which is what they're set up to do, but they simply can't, considering how together Geo are playing. And it's risky just Vizicachi splitting consistently, because look at all of the Geo where they are right now. They're all together, right in the mid, as the Destiny's popped as well. So now with that threat gone, Vizicachi can continue to split freely, but he chooses to move away and instead move back in the mid with his team.
Right, because he knows he has his wave pushed. Now someone has to go answer it. He can move across if he wants to, clear out vision, walk, do whatever he wants. He has his time on the map as he's now going to walk his way back. He has that cannon barrage just about good to go, and there's a play happening top, so he might need it.
There's solar flare, 1-1-3, way too far forward. He's gone. Terra might be dead. One more rocket, but maybe that might not be okay.
Oh,
they get it.
Reckless
gets executed. I think maybe the next target inside there because the Shurikens land on triple kill for Ronaldo as Capital will stay alive. He'll get the shutdown, but it's only on Ronaldo and it's 4 people dead. GO can go to Baron.
This is a big deal. They continue to push the lead, and now they're going to be able to get so much more for their troubles, and you can see it. This extra gold is going to be big. They're going to be able to take down the remaining outer turrets here on K-Corp's side of the map, maybe even go for an inhibitor, because they're just so strong at the moment here on the side of GamersOrigin. We talked about it. When these sorts of things happen, when it comes to the difference in these team compositions, K-Corp, they have to play for picks, but now, because of the fact that you know GamersOrigin are likely going to go for this 4-1, have Vizicachi on the side, the rest of the team mid, you're in a perfect position to deny that opportunity. And you can see it in the replay here, too. The TPs are coming through, and you can see it. All they have to do on GamersOrigin's side, get a reset for Kareem, and then he can start to do what Viego does best, and you got to give a lot of credit to Ronaldo, too. He's been doing such a good job this game, gets the triple kill, and it's just been a nightmare for K-Corp.
Because I was going to point out, too, past Ronaldo as well, I found Android as well has been stepping up in a massive way, right? Considering when you don't have Vizicachi on the setup, when you don't have him on the Ornn, the Poppy, and Tank that can dictate how these fights will go, can reliably be able to make sure that GO can go in the 5v5s, set up for success. You know, who's going to be the person to do that? And it's been Android, consistently landing 2, 3-man solar flares in these very crucial chokes and team fights, making sure the KC are not able to try to trade for 1-for-1s, and you know, just peeling for Smiley, for Korean KT, because once he gets the reset off, his hands off the keyboard, he knows his teammates have got it, they can take over. GO are playing Karmine's game, but are executing it really well, and I find it's not even just proactivity that's precarious, it is really well thought out.
It's tough too because like right now, K-Corp their time is essentially up. When it comes to the early game power they have, the ability to make plays, time's up. GamersOrigin, so powerful at the moment, 7K up. They're in a position where they can just continue to push, and if somebody is even 1 centimeter out of position, Enjowave's going to be able to find the CC. Like you said, been playing so well. The only saving grace for K-Corp at the moment is that with Reckless, they have good wave clear. Problem is, mid-wave is also on its way in to threaten the inhib turret. Luckily for them, Ronaldo didn't end up having that Baron buff, so it's not going to be as big of a threat. But because you know Cabo Shard is on the split, picking up objective bounties and this extra gold, you can get really aggressive.
Oh, there we go yet again. Those two-man solo flares is so insane. And Karmine KT wanted the reset on to second. That would have been the nail in the coffin potentially.
Ronaldo
goes in. They want Cabo Shard, but Antera's dead. Middle of the Nautilus locked down. That's all the CC onto one more as Cabo's gone. That's the next target. And now the Reese come in here. But that's a double kill for the Viego. They don't have a massive wave, but they can get double inhibitors. Or
they're gonna win the game.
That was gonna okay. All right, they decide. You know what? We want to stay for longer. We want the game to end right now. Go, a big Everfrost, but 113 might be dead. He has to jump away into the base. They can't do anything at all. As Ronaldo jumps in by himself, he's far too strong. Assassinates Reckless outside his base. And